What's going on, everybody, in the Kaloscope world? And today we're going to be going over the augmented reality portion of the drop that we had yesterday that I did not cover and was brought to my attention to do so. So that's what we're going to do. But before we get into that, I am going to go over this little sweet little gem that popped up today on the Epico Regal Ecomi partnership. And in the partners, you see right here, Kaloscope, a first generation NFT oriented social media metaverse, which I thought that was kind of neat. It was a nice little, something to put in there for the Kaloscope people. And I'm super excited about it. And I'm going to dive a little bit more into the aspect of social media metaverse and how this is going to be moving forward with Kaloscope and how they could be the leading industry in the field. So, if you minted a drop yesterday, I will go into how you can see an augmented reality. And what you'll need to do is go up here to your profile, click that bad boy, and then you'll be able to see all these different portals, throne room, and your diamond passes. And it says hold 1x, which that means that's how many I hold. Now, if you look, holds 0x, that means, unfortunately, I didn't get a gold or a Kalos, but that's all right. I got the first three, baby. Common, meta, and royal, which it's all good. And we're going to go into what it looks like to go in AR. So pretend you actually got the drop. You're going to buy one after this video, I'm sure. If you don't, you're definitely going to want to, because it's sweet. But you go to this, the one that you're holding, and you click it. And then once you do that, it shows your edition number, but then you click it one more time. And then down here, you'll see View in 3D. Click that. And what's going to pop up now is your collectible on the computer in a 3D form. But if you want to see it on your phone, go to this View in AR right here, click it, and you're going to get this barcode. And feel free to scan this and try it out. You can see mine in 3D before you buy, and you'll probably go buy one. And then once you do that, what's going to happen is it's going to look something like this right here. And this is me outside my house, just kind of filming in the 3D form, kind of walking around, showing what you can do with it, scaling it, and all that good stuff. Now, this is the portal that you're going to be able to go into, and I believe that you'll be able to go in different spaces with different portals you allocate to it. Or maybe this is just an Aradena portal that takes you there. Depending on the rarity, it's kind of like a flex. But you can see a little doorway here. And this is where the social media metaverse is going to be really kicking in and coming and playing a big role in the future. Because let's face it, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff's really gone stale, stagnant. People really don't even like to get on there anymore. But with this kind of stuff moving forward is going to get that social media interaction. I really feel like, going back to where we need to get people at and not being mad and pissy with each other. But let's kind of look in the detail of this thing. So you can see the wall has damage on it. The armor has damage. You've got these guys standing there. And I think it's going to be pretty sweet when these guys have like Comic-Cons or Game Cons or whatever they're going to have, where you can take this character from Aradena and role play it. And it would be a fairly simple role play with some Warbler or whatever you want to do. Now, if you notice, I'm scaling this down 30. This is only 30% how big it can look in the real world. Now, you get a little bit zoomed in here, kind of see a little bit more detail. You got that shine, the armor damage. Just really sweet. And it'll be really awesome later on if you could just, with like Snapchat and everything like that, where you get those helmets and stuff on your face, where if you click a button, it shows you in that suit and character and you can run around. So, think gamification here. You're going to be able to put like archers in these little cubby holes and at the top of the tower and shoot people, all that good stuff. Now you can scale it down a little bit more. I'm trying to kind of see the tops of it and what that looks like for you. So this is at 11% occupancy. Now it'll be sweet later on as Epico Regal talked about how you can buy weapons and stuff, and it'd be neat if you can place those in your castles, your throne rooms and stuff like that. And I'm sure Aradena is going to be doing that kind of cool stuff as well. But I can't wait to see how you customize these portals, or are they going to be just what they are? I don't know, but I would love to be able to add stuff on, add spikes to the armor of these guys, and all that crazy stuff. So you see, I'm scaling it up. It's at 64%. It can go a whole lot bigger, and I think at the end here, I'm going to put it at 100%, kind of show it to the scale of a car. See, it's at 100% now. It's getting pretty massive and really, really big. Now, the big part for me that I'm looking forward to with these portals is later on, I'm sure they're going to be selling like fortress walls that you can connect to it. And how cool would that be to create your own kingdom, the Aradena kingdom, where you can customize it with different walls, and especially if they keep the morphing aspect. So there's my car. So that's kind of the scale of how big that sucker is. So you've got the scale of this thing pretty much maxed out right there. So that's the end of it. Now, that is just a quick look at the portal, what you can do, walking around it, looking at it. It's going to be neat to see, like what I was talking about before, you can put additions onto it, build your castle. And I think this is where renting and NFTs is really going to play a huge role, and it finally makes sense to me. And Kaloscope is the one that's been able to really show that in Aradena. Because you're like, all right, well, what's renting do here? Well, think of this as like a Disney World virtual metaverse where you can scan people's, like the barcode, you can say rent, and that barcode pops up and I pay $5. Well, right now this might not be worth $5, but later on, whenever you get walls built onto it and like siege towers, archer towers, you buy peasants, warriors from the game, you place them strategically all in your little kingdom that you've got walled off, and all this kind of crazy stuff going on. And you can click on them, and I'm sure they'll make it to where they say something kind of like in MMOs where they're like, what you doing today, boy? You know, something stupid, whatever. And you kick a chicken, whatever. You know, that's where the renting aspect is really going to come into a big play and role. When people build these elaborate kingdoms with all these NFTs they've bought, then you start getting Epico Regal and Vivi, and you start intertwining all this stuff, because it's just like they said that all ships rise with the tide, and the only way you're going to be able to do that is that interoperability. So it's going to be sweet. Like, could you imagine like Goofy or Donald Duck or somebody standing there holding a sword at the, you know, front of your portal? Something of that nature. Don't know. This is all speculation. This is just where I kind of see where the NFT space is going, and the Aradena team is just super open-minded and building crazy things. I know they got a lot in the pipeline. So one thing that you could have done is you could have minted 2 portals right off the bat. You got commons, and you take 2 portals to morph, and I got a silver and a bronze. But they have higher rarities, and if you get those, it's just kind of like a sweet flex. I got the rare piece. But moving on later on, when they do weapons, I could see like RPG aspects where you take these 2 crappy swords and you morph them, and then you get a super legendary weapon that you can put on your Aradena warrior and really make them next level. Another thing that I could see really being sweet is in Aradena, if they make it, or whatever the games they come up with later, you take all these NFTs, you go do your battle against the team that they've got set up that you got to go siege. And how sweet would it be if every component of that game is an NFT that you bought, you placed, and you had to go battle to try to get and defeat their kingdom. But the real sweet part is going to be when you can watch the replay. And what it's going to do is you're going to put your replay down on the ground, and then you're going to be able to walk around while all your guys are battling, and you can see different angles and watch arrows flying over your head. And I really, really, really think that that is where the social media metaverse is really going to take off. And holy crap, people are just going to blow. It's going to blow people's minds. I can't wait to see it. I'm seeing it now, but could you imagine when Apple and Google have got their glasses made and you're walking around and you're seeing all your stuff right here when you map it out, and you can do your replay and zooming in and zooming out and just watching real time how people battle each other. Wow, that's going to be crazy. Yeah, super excited about it. That's just a quick look at the portal. We're going to go ahead and jump into the throne room now. Got this sucker laid out right here. It's pretty darn sweet. Zooming it up here so you can kind of walk around a little bit. Look at that marble floor. You've got the Aradena symbol right there in the middle. And one other thing, I'm looking at this, how they made this and mapped it out. I could see them making NFTs of pillars and torches and ribbons and banners, and you buy all that stuff and you buy the basic floors and you create your own. And it's going to be awesome to see what people come up with, because I know in the VV space that people are super creative with what little bit they have to make, slides and all kinds of weird stuff. But even as they do like tournaments and stuff like that, and you get trophies and crowns, and if you got to go do a quest where you got to defeat this super big orc or whatever, you could take its head and mount it on the wall, kind of like a deer. So this is me sitting down in my big throne. That's right, King Daddy Kid roll it up in the house. That's right, peasants, bow down to me. So looking around here, looking at the chandeliers, this is just one super small piece of what the social media metaverse is and will be looking like. And as you think the social media part where we all meet up and we're running around in here looking at each other's stuff, the stuff we created is really going to play a huge role in the future of metaverses and gaming as a whole. So this is kind of a quick look, of Aradena's couple drops, Kaloscope, everything they've got going on. It is super crazy to see this, and these guys have just done a really killer job in detail in what we've got right now. Now the floor is kind of a little bit funky right here. I'm not sure what's going on. It's probably taxed my S20 phone out to the max, and that's another thing. Getting all this stuff to work on all the freaking phones that's out there, I'm sure it's got to be difficult for the dev team. So hats off to you guys. Keep up the great work. You're doing awesome. Now, from a social media metaverse, where do I see this going? I always resort to this, and this video right here really puts a lot of things in perspective for me, because I put this down in my yard, right? I want to see haunted houses. I want to see horror kind of scenarios where people can buy the NFTs of Freddy Krueger, Jason, smoke, spider webs, flying hatchets, arrows, whatever. Think of haunted houses. Everybody loves going to haunted houses, or doesn't like going to haunted houses, just for the simple fact that when you go, you don't know if that sucker's real, alive, or not, going to kill you. But that's kind of part of the horror. But it's going to be sweet, and this goes back to the renting aspect that I always talk about. You buy all these NFTs, you don't have to worry about them breaking down and all that stuff. Just place them. You map out walls to funnel people through the horror house, and you get things scaring and all that. And whenever you got your glasses on, you're going to see the ground. So I think like a football field would probably be best. And if not, you can do it where it's just a headset and you use a controller. But still, it would be sweet to walk around in like an open field and do all this stuff and see it. And that's where I really see metaverses for me really blowing up, is for the haunted houses. I cannot wait to see that. But even like I was saying, where you could do these battles in these games and say you got your butt kicked. Well, now you get to go watch that replay, but you get to see it in person. And then you get to see where you messed up and went wrong and fix your battles. And it's going to be just sweet to show, especially the older generation, hey, I'm a gamer, I did this. And they're like, oh, why'd you do all that? Well, check this out. Put these on and walk around, and they will be absolutely blown away, because when I've just shown people AR collectibles, I set it down on the ground, give them my phone. I say, hey, walk around, check this out, see what you think. And they're like, wow, that's crazy. I'm like, yeah, this is tied to crypto. They're like, what? So people it's starting to catch on. I've even had people tell me, I'm going to do a little bit of research. Where do I need to start? And then I'll tell them. So crypto is definitely in the blockchain and metaverses and Kaloscope, Epical Regal, VV, Comey, Aradena. They're ahead of the game. They're doing great. And it's going to be amazing. So that is kind of my mindset in Kaloscope, Aradena, where they're going. And I'm proud to be a Diamond Pass holder because they've been doing some really good perks. They're giving away free things if you're a holder, by the way. So be sure to check out the passes. And they said that they always want utility and want to give that. People have ownership, that utility, and want to keep them holding it and not sell it and keep on moving forward. So this is kind of a little glimpse of what you can do in Kaloscope, Aradena, and how all this stuff works and how you can see the 3D model. Just kind of wanted to show you this, give a little bit of my thoughts on the metaverse and where I can see this going in the future. I'm super excited about it. I can't say enough. I look forward to the drop. I can't wait to see what other partners they have coming on. I'm pretty sure there's going to be Epical Regal portal before too long. And they have been getting announced on so many things here lately. The Kaloscope team that we're early. Be glad you're watching this. Be glad you're here right now. Big things are coming. Be sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Comment. And be sure to join the Kaloscope Discord where we talk all kinds of crazy things and get that insider information of what's coming out next. But until next time, we'll holler.